Hey, welcome back to the Green Room Cannabis and Culture podcast from 614 Media. Exciting episode here today on the Green Room. I am going to be joined by a few guests who, like myself, are like 30 to 45 minutes into the journey of some edibles. And we're just going to, see how it goes. So I would like to introduce my first guest by asking my first guest to introduce themselves. So if you would like to introduce yourself and then tell me what your experience is with cannabis and consuming and what level of consumer you would consider yourself.
Awesome. Hi, I'm Roman. I would consider myself pretty casual. I did edibles kind of at first to just see how it is, and then that had mixed results after a while. So I switched over to smoking or do a little vape here and there. Mostly with like friends, or if I'm like out socially, I might, or if I'm just like chilling with some friends. But that's about my extent to what I use. So not nothing too heavy, just pretty casual.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So if you were to give me like a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being, your Snoop's dog and your Cheeches and Chongs,
Right.
and 1 being like my parents, where would you put yourself on that list?
Definitely like a solid 4 or 5.
Okay,
Yeah.
right on.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
But just enough to be like I'm fun at parties. So
awesome. Okay, and then the edible that you took today, how many milligrams did you take?
so it was 10 milligrams per gummy, I think. So I took 2 of them because I'm not like a super lightweight anymore, but but also I would like this interview to be fun. So
I also want this interview to be fun, which leads me to my first question of this interview, which I think is less of a question for fun and more of a question to start fights, unless we're on the same page, in which case, no fights.
yeah.
Where do you stand pineapple on pizza?
You know what? I'm gonna be so honest with you. I love pineapple on pizza because, okay, here's the thing. If you've ever had instead of doing like the standard pizza sauce, you do like barbecue and put some like ham and cheese and kind of maybe some onion if you're a little fruity.
Getting a little freaky with it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
doing like a little Hawaiian, but it's like a barbecue Hawaiian. Throw some chicken on there if you want.
Yeah.
Delish.
I'm
That's
into
my
that.
stance on pineapple.
I love that. I too love a Hawaiian pizza. I love a barbecue Hawaiian pizza.
Yes.
What is your most controversial pizza topping opinion? Either one you like or one that you dislike.
I know that like it's more of a thing recently, but putting honey on pizza, even if it's like a savory pizza,
You're into or not into?
I like that.
Okay, cool. All
I'm
right, dope.
I'm a freak in this respect where I don't know. There's something about like how you combine like savory and sweet.
Yeah.
It's sort of like you should put a little drizzle on there, even if it's like it's they have like hot honey like pepperoni and at some places. So I know it's getting traction like more recently, but I always think that they don't do the honey flavor enough. It's like just kind
Yeah.
of like I gotta slather a little bit more on there.
I like that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
with you. I am happy to report that I match your freak when it comes to honey on pizza.
Great.
Big fan of that. Next question for you today, Roman. Would you rather have a hamster-sized elephant or an elephant-sized hamster?
Oh, elephant-sized hamster all the way. Because then it's like a little mount, kind of like in like if you play like World of Warcraft or something, you have like mounts that you can do. It's just like a giant hamster that you can ride into battle or whatever to Kroger or something.
So that's the okay. We're gonna revisit taking your hamster to Kroger, but that's the side I always fall on. I always want to ride a giant hamster.
Yeah.
Everybody always argues with me that the cuteness of a tiny elephant outweighs the utility of a giant hamster.
Yeah, it's all about utility. It's like it's ultimately, I mean, I don't know, if you're sentimental over the small elephant, then sure. But you gotta think about what's this scenario gonna do for me practically. And so that's why I agree with you on the big hamster, because I'm like, well, train it to take me around town and I look cool as hell doing that. So I don't know. But I got this little tiny elephant knickknack on my shelf, though, that you can look at sometimes. Like, it's just not the same.
It is definitely not the same. I totally agree with you there. We are right on the same page, which is awesome because my next question I have yet to land on a page, because quite frankly this question upsets me, and I feel like I need to ask it to everyone I know. So, Roman, would you rather have hair for teeth or teeth for hair?
Oh, I don't even want to think about the hair for teeth or teeth for hair.
Yeah, and we are gonna think about it. We're gonna like really, we're gonna go in on
Yeah,
this one.
because I get. Oh, this is. Oh, I hate this question. Um, I guess teeth for hair, because then it's like a horn situation. Maybe you can like build up enough enamel where it just like kind of. I don't know, but that's it. I don't think it works like that though. Ah,
If you have teeth for hair,
yeah.
do you brush those teeth? And if so, how often?
Well, I don't know because I feel like it would be different because your teeth are in your mouth and that's where like the bacteria is and it's all
Confirmed your teeth are in your mouth.
yeah. Did you know there's teeth in your mouth? I didn't. Oh, I could go off on a whole tangent. I'm not going to though. About teeth, but uh, yeah, I don't know.
For later.
Right, exactly. But I mean, if you have teeth for hair, then I mean, it's like I said, it's not in like a moist, like gross environment like your mouth. So I feel like the brushing would be different. It'd probably just kind of be like, oh, I don't have to worry about enamel buildup necessarily.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
So I feel like it does kind of put you in a brush your head teeth
Yeah.
specifically as
Yeah.
often as you would wash your hair.
You take like a bristle brush to it, like I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost well, and then
You gotta polish your teeth.
do you floss your head? Like, how does that go?
I mean, I don't I don't know. I don't think so. I think well maybe some people do, but I don't know how they would go about doing that. That's unfamiliar to me. Just trying to think about how that would go. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know that I have formed an opinion yet on hair for teeth or teeth for hair, but I think
Yeah.
that you've certainly made a strong argument
Yeah.
for teeth for hair.
It just sounds slightly less harrowing and gross.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it sure
I could
does.
deal with teeth for hair because then I can just put on a wig, I guess.
Okay. Final question for you. Um, I'm coming the whole way back around from putting a wig on, I guess, and I agree with you. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That either way, you could wear a crown. That's a really good joke. Thank you. All right, last question. Again, not a question I came up with, and a question that I think could be upsetting, could be kind of fun. Would you rather every time you yawn, you spontaneously break out into Smash Mouth's All Star and sing the whole thing top to bottom? Or when you sneeze, you spontaneously break out into the Canadian national anthem?
It's got to be All Stars for sure. I'm not Canadian, so I don't know. It's not going to be of service to my life with that one. And I feel even though I yawn a little bit more than I sneeze, but I think who knows, but every time you get a cold, oh, I couldn't do it. I'd rather suffer the yawn because
That
at
is a
least
lot of O Canada.
I also know how to stifle my yawns. So,
Fair. Here's my follow up question. You said you're not Canadian, so it would never be of service to my life. That insinuates that sometimes breaking out into Smash Mouth by All or into All Star by Smash Mouth is conducive to your life. Can you tell me what situation that occurs in?
definitely when you're trying to take like the SATs or if you're like in an elevator and everybody's silent and it's just a nice little palate cleanser, I guess. In the most like disruptive way possible.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. All right. Well, Roman, thank you for joining me on this episode of The Green Room. And offering your insights on not only hair for teeth, but your freak on pizza. And I do appreciate that.
Thank you for having me. It was very fun, and I'm still feeling the effects, so
Well,
I have to go deal with that.
enjoy the rest of your afternoon being fully zooted.
Absolutely.
All right, and we are back with our next guest on this journey of edibles. My special guest, if you'd like to introduce yourself and tell me like how much cannabis you consume, if you could put yourself on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being the most, 1 being the least, how much do you smoke, that sort of thing.
I'm Steph. I would say I'm at like a 8.5. I'm gonna say an 8.5 because I know some people who are what I would think of as a 10, and I hope I don't smoke as much as they do. But it's a lot.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I honestly have at a pretty similar level to that. So I vibe there. Tell me today, like, how are you feeling? How big was the edible you took? And are you a frequent edibles person or mostly a smoker?
I'm definitely mostly a smoker. I I took 20 milligrams. That was one of the questions. I took 20 milligrams. They were big. They were kind of chunky, like
They are
edibles,
kind of
but
big.
10 milligrams a piece. So I took 20, and then we smoked a little bit, and I smoked on my way here. And then I drank 2 cups of coffee. So
So you're
I'm
like, you're
feeling a little
pretty
crazy.
zooted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit insane.
I love it. Awesome. Well, I have 4 pretty insane questions.
Okay.
The first I would say is the least insane, unless you and I are about to fight, which we may be. What is your opinion on pineapple on pizza?
Actually, I grew up in a pro Hawaiian pizza household, so
All right.
I don't think it's that bad. My dad used to make a Hawaiian pizza every Saturday when they got home from our like Saturday evening. We'd all go out together and then come back with friends and have pizza night, and they would always make a Hawaiian pizza for the fam. So,
That's awesome.
yeah.
I love that.
Bro, pineapple on pizza, I guess.
I am also pro pineapple on pizza. I love pineapple on
yeah.
pizza. I love a Hawaiian pizza. What is your hottest pizza topping take? Like, what is either the thing that you really hate or the thing that you really like that's weird?
Oh no. I eat a lot of weird shit.
Oh no.
I'm like a weird food person.
Tell me more about that.
Like raw fish. If you poke, sashimi, raw fish, love it. So like
Poke
if
pizza, yes or no?
if there was a way to do that, I feel like with having to cook a pizza, you then are like then not eating raw fish. And if you put the raw fish on after, I don't know if the temperature of the pizza would like affect that, but if it could be good, I would probably eat it. It would probably have to be one of those like old school like no cheese pizzas though,
Yeah,
you
like a
know.
Neapolitan.
Yeah, one of those or like a pizza with like like olive oil
Yeah.
or like or like a little bit of sesame oil. This is an idea. I'm onto something right
You
now.
really are. I'm into it. This is you are
Put some seaweed flakes on top. Oh my god.
no pun intended, you are cooking. Okay, let's put that on a table and come back to it later. I have another question for you. This one I think is a little bit less controversial, but we might still have a drastic disagreement here. Would you rather, Steph, have a hamster-sized elephant or an elephant-sized hamster?
Oh my god, having a tiny little elephant that just like curls up on your shoulder, like
Pretty
when you're
cute.
sleeping, that would be so cute. Or they just like walk around on your chest like a little cat, but it's a tiny little elephant. Are you kidding?
But let me run this by you. A giant elephant or a giant hamster that you can ride places.
That's kind of like having Appa, I guess.
It
And,
is
like,
kind of like having Hippa. Yeah.
so that would go crazy. I don't know. I love a fuzzy guy. I don't know.
And I don't feel like I feel like a tiny elephant isn't as fuzzy as you want it to be.
Yeah, but also think about like the practicalities of getting enough like seed and like grain and like grasses and fruits together to feed a giant hamster. Cause like
I feel like
Rodents can pack it away.
if I had a giant hamster, I feel like I could let it loose in any cornfield in Ohio.
And then you're doing detrimental damage to your local ecosystems.
Okay, I mean, that's a fair point, but perhaps my interest in detrimental ecosystem damage is less than my interest in cleaning up tiny elephant poops all over my house.
I mean, I had a rabbit that was litter trained. I'm sure you could, like, elephants are really smart.
Elephants are really smart.
They're really smart.
I don't know that I'm ready to concede that I want
Tiny diapers or an outdoor enclosure, like tortoises do outdoor enclosures, and people will just bring their tortoise in like at night and stuff like that. And then you just only have to worry about like when you
this
wake
is
up.
my inside outside elephant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Here's my next question for you, Steph. This one I already know our producer has vested interest in, and I'll say myself too. I haven't decided what side of this I'm on. My last guest gave me one answer. I'm going to consider all the answers today. Would you rather have teeth for hair or hair for teeth?
Teeth for hair would be kind of cunty.
Like, tell me more about that, please.
So like, I don't know, maybe it's just the drag performers that like I follow, but I feel like I could see one of the drag performers that I keep up with making a bald cap with teeth on it. And in my head, that's cunty, like the texture. It's like the body horror of it without necessarily the like sensory horror of like hair for teeth. Because to me, that's a sensory nightmare.
That is a sensory nightmare.
Trim your teeth and then you have. I do hair, so I know what it's like to have hair in your mouth, and it is not good. But like, you just rub your like teeth. Hair.
You just rub your teeth.
I also clearly am a fan of a freaky little haircut, though. So
fair point. Let me ask you this: if teeth for hair, then do you brush your head teeth, and if so, how often?
I mean, you have to wash your hair, like for practical reasons of like it catches debris. Of course, I feel like if you just got like a little like bristle brush with a handle and just like
went to town.
Like they make those little head scrubbies now, but they have little rubber teeth. They just make one with bristles instead.
Okay, here's my last question, and this is worse. So if you have teeth for hair, do they get longer like hair does? Or do they stunt at a certain height?
No, I feel like it's only fair that if you have to have teeth for hair, it doesn't grow because your teeth don't grow. Are you just producing bone matter then
I guess that would if that's the world we're living in, I think the answer is yes.
Like I get, but then is it teeth really, or is it more similar to like a fingernail?
Anyway, I have a different question that I'd like to ask you now. My final question of today. Whew, wasn't ready for fingernails to be brought into this. Last question, Steph. Would you rather every time you yawn spontaneously sing all of All Star by Smash Mouth, or every time you sneeze spontaneously recite the Canadian national anthem?
I don't think I even know the Canadian national anthem, but
let's say it is you are born with the knowledge of the Canadian national. It's like Mr. Brightside. We all just know the lyrics.
Honestly, I don't know if I actually know. I probably know at least 80% of lyrics to Mr. Brightside. I think I'm a sleepy girl. I think I would rather like sing the Canadian national anthem every time I sneeze because I feel like I do that way less.
Yeah.
People would get sick of me so fast. I'm a sleepy, eepy guy.
That's pretty reasonable. Yeah, I do feel like I yawn a lot more than I sneeze. So. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for your insight today. Are you looking forward to spending the rest of your afternoon edibled out?
Yeah, I'm going to go read a book and watch YouTube at my house or something.
Hell yeah.
Maybe, actually, no, I just found a new video game. I might do that.
All right. Well, I will be right back with our next guest. Welcome back. We have our final guest here on the Green Room. My special guest, if you could introduce yourself, give me your name as well as like how much you consume cannabis, maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, where you would put yourself, 10 being a heavy consumer, 1 being a light consumer.
So, hi, my name is Margot. I'm about a 14 and a half on the Kinsey scale of consumption.
Right on.
Yeah, I typically am a wake and baker, and it's just kind of I'm a copious user.
Okay. So talk to me about the edible you took today. How many milligrams was it, and how are you feeling right now?
So I took 3 of the edibles today. They were 10 milligrams each. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling light and kind of giggly.
Okay.
I'm gonna be
right on.
real.
Perfect. All right. Well, I have a couple of questions for you,
Okay.
ranging from controversial, may start a fight, to upsetting, and I don't really want to think about it. But hopefully it'll be a good time. So the first one I think is probably the most controversial
Okay, I'm
and
ready.
fight-inducing.
I'm ready.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No, disgusting.
Ooh,
Absolutely
okay,
not.
all right.
Absolutely not.
Here's where the fight
Pineapple
starts.
doesn't go on pizza. Pineapple is beautiful. It is a dessert item. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous addition to so many things. But pizza it is not.
Okay, I take issue with you saying that it's a dessert item. I think it is a dessert item, but
It's
not
not just a
exclusively.
dessert item. You
Okay,
are correct.
all right.
You are
So
correct.
not just.
digress.
Okay, is there any fruit you would eat on pizza?
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I would probably try a thinly sliced apple on a pizza.
Okay, I think that's
I
pretty
feel like
reasonable.
that could be like a crunch with a.
So is it
Just
the
first thought.
texture of the pineapple less than the sweetness?
I think it's for me it's the texture probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like hot fruit typically. Like I don't
Interesting.
pineapple's not meant to be hot for me. It's meant to be cold or
Yeah.
served on ice, not
Yeah.
on a hot sweaty pizza. A hot
don't-
sweaty pizza deserves like meats and cheeses and some pepper, and
Yeah,
that's
I
what
don't
that's what-
love thinking of pizza as sweaty, but that's okay.
me. Hot and sweaty.
hot and
I'm
sweaty.
hot. Yeah, no.
In that case, yes,
yeah.
right there with you. Me hot and sweaty, them pizza, absolutely.
And together we make
hot and sweaty pizza. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hottest pizza topping take, either something that you really like that is weird or something that you really dislike that is common.
I think the thing that I dislike the most, I've had mushrooms on pizza and I was not a fan of that.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty next level disgusting for me. Oh, and black olives. I won't do black olives on pizza, which I've tried to know that I don't like.
Yeah, I'm not a black olives fan.
Yeah, no.
I don't like mushrooms much to begin with, but mushrooms on pizza, is that a texture thing again?
No, the taste is just not.
Yeah,
it's just
okay.
not good. Pizza's just not a mushroom, not a mushroom go.
Okay, all right.
I would rather have pineapple on pizza than mushroom.
I think that's where we can agree. That's like
that's a
the
good
line
level.
that we can take.
Yeah.
All right. You said would you rather, or you said you would rather, which
Uh-huh.
is a good transition to my next question
Right.
because it is, would you rather have a hamster-sized elephant or an elephant-sized hamster?
I'm going to say a hamster-sized elephant.
Tell me why.
Well, because I could take them everywhere. They could be a part of my daily life. They could be a pet in my home. I could take them on the plane. I mean, yeah, I could take my little baby elephant everywhere.
The logistics of taking a baby elephant on the plane feel not just size dependent
Well,
to
I
me.
mean, I feel like in this hypothetical situation, maybe it's my service animal because it
Okay.
is so small, and I mean, you can't. I have a service animal. You can't take that away from me, even if it is trumpeting through the plane ride. I mean, everyone's enjoying it.
Everyone's
It's like a
enjoying
circus.
it. Yeah, it's
Ask every seat on this plane.
every single
They're
person
enjoying
wants
it.
this. Yeah.
More than that crying baby up front, I swear.
That's, I think that crying babies on an airplane
In
are
the front is worse. When
That-
they're in the front, when the crying baby is in front of you, that's worse.
I think crying babies on an airplane in general is probably the mushroom to elephant on a plane's pineapple on the pizza that we call domestic air
But can you
travel.
imagine a hamster-sized or an elephant-sized hamster?
Yeah, because
That would
that's
be
what
a
I want.
ravenous. I mean, that would be we
You
would be
could ride
done
it
for,
everywhere.
or be eaten and shredded apart by said hamster.
We live in Ohio. There's plenty of corn. I can let my hamster off in a cornfield.
There's also plenty of just white people just ready to be eaten by your hamster.
That's a fair point.
You know what I mean?
However,
How will they discern when they're in the cornfield from the men picking the corn from the corn itself? They'll
When
just, you're going to be ankles and corn stalk all over the place.
when they're in the cornfield versus when they're in the KORN cornfield. Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, no, a hamster mosh pit is, I'm all about that. All about it.
I'm going to put a pin in hamster mosh pit for another time.
Okay.
Okay. Next
You're thinking
question
about
for
it.
you, Mark. Yeah, you said it. I'm thinking about it. You got me there. Next question for you. This is the upsetting one. Would you rather have hair for teeth or teeth for hair?
For teeth. Teeth for hair. Would I still have teeth in my mouth?
Yes.
If I have teeth for hair?
Yes.
Oh, teeth for hair.
Okay. I
Because
think
the amount of things you could do with teeth, like, is it like just one long tooth coming out of my head?
no, I think
Or do
it's
I
a
have
bunch
like
of
strands, like
well, so
strands
that's
of
what
teeth?
we were talking about this. Let me say first off, I came in today and I was like, I don't know where I stand on this debate. I don't like either answer. And now all three guests have said teeth for hair, and I find myself firmly in the teeth for hair camp.
Yeah, because hair for teeth would just be
Awful.
awful.
Just terrible.
Because they wouldn't serve as teeth unless you like tied them into little knots and bows, and oh well, then we could get kinky with that.
You would
but-
have to, I would think, like really tightly bun
Yeah.
each
I mean,
individual.
what if you don't like your hair tooth color,
Oh man, you've
Like,
got
what
to
if-
dye your mouth.
right? You to prove that you're like a natural blonde, you'd have to dye your mouth along with your hair. Poor blondes, they would have so much more work to do.
That is
Oh, and then they would have yellow teeth. Oh, that's disgusting.
is-
no,
yeah.
teeth for hair.
okay. So, wow, that a lot of images are processing.
Some of them are hot and some of them are really not.
I don't know. Honestly, I'll be real with you. I don't know that a single one of them is hot. If you come at
Teeth for
me,
hair is kind of
teeth.
kind of living for it.
If you come at me, hair for teeth, I don't know that I can get there. Teeth for hair,
Yeah, that's
I
like
think is
what's
pretty.
more than a gum job. Like what's hairier? I don't
Oh,
even
that
know what
sucks.
you call that. Like
Oh, it sucks, and I hate it.
yeah,
Um,
I don't even
Yeah,
a hairball, a hairball or a hair nut.
Margot, stop. No.
Hair nut.
Okay, hold on. Let's go back to teeth for hair. That's the world I want to live in. We've been discussing the logistics of teeth for hair
Okay, yes.
across a couple of guests now. So my question for you is, in this world where you have teeth for hair, two questions. Question one, do you brush your head teeth? And if so, how often?
Oh no, I don't. I don't think we would have to brush our hair teeth.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think you would just have to like, just make sure it's taken care of and you let your hair down, or just keep your hair down if it's teeth hair.
But if I'm going to put
Oh,
my
what if it
hair down, I brush my hair.
Well, you wouldn't. Your hair is hair at the moment.
Uh-huh.
Your hair would be strands of like, I'm seeing like multiple strands of teeth, just like teeth, like just like almost like locks of teeth, basically. So it's just
Okay.
tooth. So that's what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing a really cool like
You have a much different vision
like
in your head than I do.
Like a rave ponytail. You can dye your teeth strands so it looks like normal, or it looks like shells.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Would your teeth crack if you danced around? That would be
Oh, if you whipped your hair back and forth, you're gonna hurt yourself and others.
hairnet. Productivity would be on the rise, and the inflation on that would be insane.
That's absolutely. Okay, hold the phone. One of the questions I asked our last guest, if teeth for hair, do teeth grow? Now you are saying that it's like strands, which in my head means that like there's a tooth and then a new tooth grows underneath it and it's like
Yeah, but they like kind of are moving it. You saw Luca, right?
Yeah.
So we'd all look kind of like Luca.
Okay.
But
All
it's
right.
not gay. But like, just like we'd look like Luca with teeth, but not with the amphibian part of it. So I'm thinking like, yeah, just like, yeah.
I think that's really interesting because I also think there's a possibility where all the teeth just like stunt at a certain level, and
Oh yeah.
you just kind of get like a
Like a tooth buzz
you
cut.
buzz it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, you could be doing a lot of that too. I mean, I feel like in a reality where people had horns or wings or things like that, I think there would be some self maintenance on the level.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe it's like a privilege or a certain type of maybe it's like a certain type of a level of diplomacy or a level of like in the government or in the army or the military to have like your teeth flattened.
your teeth flattened.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Like, oh, that guy look at this guy. He only has one layer of he's a lieutenant, clearly. Oh, that guy has no teeth on his. He's a swimmer, clearly.
Clearly, he's.
Or we would just ban swimming in the Olympics altogether because of the teeth.
Well, the
to
water
ratio.
dynamics would
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, the friction would just.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
One final question, fully unrelated to teeth.
Are you sure?
Not completely. Would you rather, Margot, every time you yawn, spontaneously sing Smash Mouth's All Star, or every time you sneeze, spontaneously recite the national anthem?
How much of All Star am I singing?
All of it, top to bottom.
Oh, All Star. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
I
don't remember the national anthem.
That's really interesting because I figured I would say all of it and you would say, okay, then maybe not. But I said all of it and you said, well, then of course.
Oh, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
Just to.
I was not really a Smash Mouth girl, but I was 11 in that year and I remember it being in every movie. So yeah, I still recite it to this day.
Yeah.
I like to sing talk it to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look in the mirror and hey, now you're an all-star.
Yeah. That's the years start coming and they don't stop coming. And I'll read you the
Head
rules.
to the ground
and
you
hit the ground running. God, we did it. We did it, Margot.
We really did.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for
thank you
joining
for
me on the
having me.
Green Room today.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining me on the Green Room today. This has been, one more time, the Green Room, a cannabis and culture podcast from 614 Media. Hey, we are now available on Spotify as well as wherever else you get your podcasts. So check us out on YouTube, check us out on Spotify, check us out in all of those podcast places, and we will see you next time in the Green Room.